Boruto episode 61 preview. Now, this episode is going to be a great episode. It's going to be one of the episodes a lot of people want to see, which is going to be Boruto and Sarada versus Shinki. It's supposed to be the last round of the chunin exam. It's supposed to be the last round of the chunin exam before we see Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Of course, that's going to be something very hyped. Now, this episode might not be the last episode of the last round. I just want to get that out there real quick because this round, or this episode specifically, is supposed to be a three-way fight between Sarada, Boruto, and Shinki. Now, I would not be surprised at all if in the next episode we do see a one-on-one battle, and in this episode, one of the three, which could be Shinki, Sarada, or Boruto, do get knocked out. And of course, in episode 62, we would see either Sarada versus Shinki, Boruto versus Shinki, or, either one of those combinations. But this episode is going to be really lit. We're going to see a lot of stuff pertaining to Shinki. I do want to start doing some versus battles, some power scaling things. So this episode is going to give me a great gauge upon Shinki's power, upon Boruto's power, what Boruto did learn, and also upon Sarada's power. One thing I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about is in a movie, Boruto actually told Naruto, like, hey, I know water style now. And we haven't really seen Boruto use water style yet. We've seen Boruto utilize some sort of water style, but it was during the second round. Of course, he used some scientific technology to use that water style. So of course, we don't really count that as water style. But Boruto, before the first round even started in terms of movie, he told Naruto, like, hey, I know water style now, like I could do it. And Konohama taught me it. And I feel like, of course, a lot of people would want to see Boruto use some sort of water style. Now, before I get into what I think is going to happen in this episode, I want to show you guys these two images right here. They were leaked earlier on, I wouldn't say leaked earlier, they were released earlier on Twitter by the actual Boruto Twitter site, and I'm pretty much retweeting everything. So if you guys want to see all the spoilers, all the leaked stuff, follow me on Twitter as well, or you can follow the actual main Naruto account. I'll link them in the description below, as well as my main Twitter. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be some more released images of the next episode later on today, probably tonight. So if you guys want to see that, just follow me on Twitter or follow the actual Boruto Twitter site. But going into this episode, one thing that I did find out was really interesting in the preview is the fact that Shinki actually uses a lightning style. Now, we do know that Gaara uses lightning style, but we never really seen Gaara use lightning style all that much. The thing is, when we did see Gaara kind of use a tiny bit of lightning style, and you really didn't even catch it when he did use lightning style, it was when he actually clashed off against Sasuke. Then Sasuke tried to use some lightning style against him, but Gaara kind of blocked it off. But in this fight, we're going to really see Shinki use a lot of lightning style. And of course, it's more realistic for Shinki to have a more visible lightning style because he is using iron sand. He's not just using flat out sand. I feel like Shinki is probably going to be a perfect match for a fighter like Boruto. Obviously, he's probably going to be beating up on Boruto and Sarada, but in terms of Boruto's chakra natures, Boruto uses wind, lightning, and water that we haven't really seen yet. And Shinki, he has earth, lightning, and wind as well. So I really don't see it conceivably possible for Boruto to actually beat Shinki. But in terms of Boruto being strategical and what he actually does with his jutsus, I feel like he has a chance of doing some sort of damage to Shinki. The thing about Shinki is that he's miles ahead of a lot of the genin that we do know. The only person that he can match up with a tiny bit is Mitsuki. Of course, we do know what happened when the fight with Mitsuki. Mitsuki failed to turn into Sage Mitsuki and wanted to chill out. But in terms of a Shinki versus Sarada fight, this fight is supposed to be a very good fight in terms of we're going to get a lot of nostalgic feels upon the fight between Gaara and Sasuke. Of course, Shinki is the son of Gaara and Sarada is the daughter of Sasuke, so we're going to get a lot of nostalgic feels from that. We're going to see how they differ and how the power scaling is between, Genin Gaara and Genin Shinki, and also Genin Sasuke and Genin Sarada. I think that'll be a great one. One thing I do have to say, if I were to give my opinion about who will actually get knocked out first, I would probably lean towards Sarada, but it's only for plot reasoning. I feel like as of right now, a lot of people do agree that Sarada is probably a lot stronger than Boruto. I wouldn't even say a lot, but she's probably stronger than Boruto as of right now. She definitely has a lot more respect in the Boruto community because Boruto is using the scientific technologies. But in my opinion, I feel like Sarada would eventually get kicked out first, obviously because of plot reasons. And then we'll end up seeing Boruto versus Shinki, the fight that has been hinted towards throughout this whole thing as soon as we've seen Shinki. Now, of course, that fight is supposed to be extremely crazy. The one thing that we do have to anticipate, or one thing that we do have to not anticipate and hope it's not going to happen, is that Boruto uses some scientific technology, and also Boruto getting caught using the scientific technology. Of course, the Boruto movie and the Boruto anime are going to be extremely different different. Boruto, as of yet, hasn't gotten caught using scientific technologies. There's a good chance that he probably won't get caught using scientific technologies. Hopefully he won't. I'm praying that he won't. A lot of people do also hope that he won't. But in my opinion, I feel like if Boruto does not get caught and he changes by himself, it'll be a great character development moment for Boruto, man, because he knows what he's doing is wrong and he knows what he's supposed to do to fix it. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to have a Hokage have to tell him what's right from what's wrong. He already knows what he's supposed to be doing and what he's not supposed to be doing. So if he comes to the conclusion for himself, like, hey, I'm not going to use the scientific technologies in this situation. For example, if Shinki does get Boruto in a crazy situation where Boruto is like second away from losing, Boruto is about to lose everything and pretty much embarrass his father because he's supposed to be the one that actually wins the tournament. Hopefully we see a situation where Boruto decides like, hey, I'm not going to use the scientific technology. I'm probably going to use a technique that I haven't really done before. Or maybe Boruto even decides like, hey, I know I'm not completely fluent in this type of technique. Maybe I'll use my vanishing Rasengan. A lot of people want to see that happen. A lot of people want to see Boruto pretty much use that Rasengan and see what he can do with it in terms of a strategical standpoint. Of course, Boruto is one of the greatest shinobi in terms of strategics. We did know that he got 100 in his test without even cheating. Everybody else that took that test cheated, and of course Boruto didn't cheat and he got a 100. The thing about Boruto, he's really we don't know if he's really skilled. As of right now, Boruto, I feel like he could very much gain a lot of people's respect back if he does end up winning the tournament by himself and pretty much not using the ninja technologies anymore again, and just realize with himself like, hey, the scientific technologies, they're not really for ninja. It doesn't really measure the actual strength of a ninja. But let me know what you guys think about this next episode in the comment section below, man. I'm really excited for it. Hopefully you guys are excited for it too. Shinki versus Sarada versus Boruto is supposed to be a great episode, but it's being your boy Baara B, and we out. Bye.
On my city, I'm the youngest nigga reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. I'm a first.